Every 4 years, the nation and much of the world focuses on the president's inaugural address. We still remember some of those speeches, but others have been forgotten. We go now from the National Mall to Bill Plante's at the White House with a look at some of the hits and the misses of the past. Bill, good morning.
Morning, Gail. Well, you know, inaugural addresses are all about a president's vision, and that, of course, is what we expect to hear from President Obama today. But we went back and had a look at some previous inaugural addresses, and we found that what presidents say the first time around is much more likely to be remembered than what they say the second time. President John F. Kennedy's inaugural address was one for the history books. Kennedy's words inspired a generation mired in the Cold War, and they are remembered still more than 50 years later.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt lifted people's spirits too. He used the first of his 4 inaugural addresses to start healing a nation badly broken by the economic devastation of the Great Depression.
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
More than a generation later, when nearly 2 million people crowded onto the National Mall to see the swearing in of the first African-American president, it was a moment of national unity. But as historian Robert Dallek notes, when a re-elected president gives his second inaugural address, the magic, for the most part, is lost.
They are not as impressive, not as compelling as first inaugural speeches.
Don Bayer, who was a speechwriter for President Clinton, says the reason most second inaugural addresses, whether by FDR, Eisenhower, Nixon, Reagan, Clinton, or George W. Bush, don't soar to the same heights is that they are measured against the reality of the first 4 years.
A first inaugural is sort of like a new baby, right? There's so much sense of expectation and potential. The second inaugural is sort of like an adolescent. It's like a teenager. You know, well, we know it didn't quite turn out exactly the way we hoped.
And that's why we don't remember much about those second inaugural speeches. George Washington's was known only for its brevity, the shortest ever at 135 words. He didn't really want another term. Ronald Reagan's second inaugural and speech were indoors. The temperature outside was only a few degrees above zero. There is one major historical exception to uninspiring second inaugural addresses: Abraham Lincoln's speech on March 4, 1865, just 6 weeks before he was assassinated. With the Civil War about to end, Lincoln urged the nation to unite as one, with malice toward none, with charity for all. Let us strive on, he said, to finish the work we are in, to bind up the nation's wounds. Now, the speech President Obama will give today, of course, will lay out his vision for the country's future. He'll be talking about his hope that the partisan disagreements in Washington won't keep the administration and Congress from finding some common ground. There'll be more details on February 12th in the State of the Union address. Mr. Obama may be meditating over what he's going to say as he heads from the White House across Lafayette Park in the next half hour for a prayer service at St. John's Church. Charlie, Nora, Gail.
Bill Plante, thank you.